It's me again, Kirsty. I'm posting 2 videos in 2 days. Who is she? Haha! It took me a while to set up my journal setups for 2023 and for January, just because December was pretty hectic. And now I had to do lots of things within a very short amount of time, so I'm proud of myself. My January setup is fairly simple, for me at least, and I realized that the paper of my new beautiful wooden journal is a little thinner than I would have hoped, so using this dark blue was not the best idea that I had, because it bleeds through. It doesn't bleed through, but it ghosts through to the other pages quite significantly. But of course I was aware of that before going into this journal. It was just a little more severe than I thought it would be, but I found my way around it and started using colored pencils, and that was lots of fun. So for January I decided to use penguins as my theme and had lots of fun with that. I will link all the inspiration reference pictures that I used in the description box below. So I did not come up with this design in particular, but I saw it somewhere on Pinterest, and if you know who drew this, please do let me know. It's absolutely cute, and I thought it would be really nice to start off a penguin theme with a mama and baby penguin cuddling each other on some snowy landscape. And as I said, I used colored pencils for this and always used a black pencil, added a few grey highlights in inverted commas, and added a tint of blue to some of the landscape so that it looked a little colder. I turned the page and actually wanted to add the same German January title on the top, but then decided not to do it because I didn't want it to ghost through to the title page, so I might just glue something in later on, but didn't do that while filming. And you can still see the cover spread through to the other page, but it's fine. And yeah, so I had these 2 little cuddly penguins on the first page, and I drew a little more comical little penguin on this page that just waddles around and looks very adorable. And yeah, I always had Pinterest open to know how penguins actually look. They're not that easy to draw as one might think, but reference photos really helped me out here. And I really felt like doing something a little more simple and quick and easy, and something that didn't bleed through. So that's why I decided to use colored pencils. I had everything drawn out in pencil beforehand so that I knew where everything was going to go, and then could just go in with my colored pencils and draw away. As you can see again, I always used the squared little piece of paper underneath so that I could add all of the elements in the right spots, because that makes things a little easier. And I also had to clip down the left side of my journal all the time because it doesn't lay flat entirely, and I used a separate journal underneath the left side so that it doesn't float around in space, if that makes any sense, so that it's as high as the right side of the journal is. That is really a very helpful tip, to not feel like you're drawing into nowhere, but that there's something underneath when you draw or set up a certain spread. When you're still at the very beginning of a journal, that is. My next spread after my calendar spread is what you see me set up right now. It's my tracker spread that hasn't changed in like years at this point. And I drew out the outlines of little calendars for my habits tracker on the left, so whenever I do a certain habit I just add a little circle to that specific dot space. And I didn't write out the habits that I will be tracking because I haven't decided on that yet, but I will add little titles as I did for my sleep and mood tracker on the right side to these in due course, but you can't see me do them just yet. Sorry for that. That will probably change in February. The next spread, as usual, is sort of like my brain dump page, which I call my notes page. And I, as always, keep it pretty much empty and just add a tiny little illustration to the right corner on the bottom and a title on the top of the left page. I actually wanted to add a border, but then decided against it because of the ghosting issue. It's fine. It will be a fun challenge, to be honest, for this year to come up with good ideas to make the ghosting as little apparent as possible. And this is already my last page for the setup, my weekly spread as per usual. It is the only thing except for the cover title that I wrote in German entirely. So it says week 1, and then I have a little column on the left side with a little calendar and a section for tasks that aren't dedicated to a specific day that I want to get done during that week, and a little section for the upcoming week after the first one. And then the whole right side, there's a little grid with all of the different days of the week where I add tasks that I want to get done on specific days. The next 3 empty pages are then for writing diary, because what I use my journal for, quite generally, mostly, is for journaling and for writing diary and for keeping track of my life and things that are happening that made me happy. The little empty space in the left corner is dedicated for another little drawing of a cutesy penguin leaning on the corner and saying hi, I guess. And I used my light grey Tombow to add some sort of background to it, and I think that makes it look a little more standy outy. I don't know. I guess it looks a little like a window now. So we're on to my final flip through of my very simple and fast setup. I hope that you enjoyed it and that it helped you in some way. And I hope to see you in my next video. I hope I will be posting another one for February. Things might be a little hectic this year, so I can't promise that I will be able to upload every single month, but I will do my absolute best. Thanks again for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.